Sister Victoria X here. So I know y'all are so used to me hopping. Excuse me, y'all. I don't know. See, every time I come up on here, all of a sudden my voice want to start getting real janky. Like, make sure I'm not on mute because I like to mute myself when I'm going live. Um, so every time I get on this camera, all of a sudden, I'm gonna take that out actually. All of a sudden my voice start going hoarse and stuff. So I'm gonna have me a little sip of water if that's okay with y'all. And today we're going to talk about the book that we're gonna start reading next week. We're going to talk about the book that we're going to start reading next week because we have officially finished Real Love by Ava Muhammad. And if you have not listened to those chapters, you can find them on my YouTube or on my Instagram at Sister Victoria X. We finished this book from chapters 1 through the very end. And so that was exciting. Assalamu alaikum, sis. That was very exciting because I haven't finished a book in a very long time. I know you guys are used to me coming live early in the morning, especially over here on the West Coast. But it's about 10:30 for us, and so I had some things that I had to do this morning, and I hadn't decided what book I was going to read either, so I didn't want to come on without knowing that. My God. So, the book that we will be reading for next week, starting next Monday, will be this book called The Law of Recognition. It's a green little book, not little book, but the Law of Recognition, the Laws of Life series. Can y'all hear me okay? I know my voice is cracking and stuff. Hey Johnny, thank you for tuning in. So, the law of recognition, discovering the gifts, opportunities, and relationships that God has already placed in your life, is by Mike Murdoch. One of my mentors actually suggests reading this book, and so I'm excited to finally be able to sit down and read it. And like I told you guys, I have a difficult time finishing books, and so this is exciting because you guys have been holding me accountable by me reading it out. And so I'm just going to briefly read the back of the book so that you know if you're interested in this, you can tap in with us next week. Hey, I am Ramadan. Thank you for tuning in. So, this is the book we're going to be reading for next week, and this is what the back of the book reads. The law of recognition. Everything you need is already in your life, merely awaiting your recognition of it. Anything unrecognized becomes uncelebrated. Anything unrecognized becomes unrewarded. Anything unrecognized eventually exits your life. The law of recognition can turn a lifetime of failure into instant success. God has provided storehouses of treasures around us, and we need only to recognize it. In this teaching, you'll learn to recognize the most important gifts in your life: recognition of the voice of the Spirit, recognition of your assignment, recognition of an enemy, of your mate, recognition of a financial deliverer, recognition of your dominant gifts, and recognition of a golden connection. So, this is Why Money. Thank you for tuning in. This is a book we're going to start reading as of next Monday. So that will definitely be exciting. So if you have not tuned in for Real Love, it's on my YouTube channel. Go to sistervictoriax.com and you can click the YouTube emblem and you'll see all of the readings of Real Love. And so the next thing I want you to do is share this live. If you have been tapping in and you have been seeing the kind of content and value that I share on these lives, please share this out so that someone can get this information, because today we're going to be talking about evaluating your circle. And this is especially important now that we're basically locked in and we don't have access to people in the way that we used to have access to them. And who's in our circle really dictates our mood sometimes, especially when we're not able to connect with people on one-on-one. So share this live out. And also, if you would like to get notifications of when I go live, text Healthy Hugh, all caps, no space, 277948. Now, moving on. I also would like to ask you guys if you know of anyone that makes these like necklaces with the crystals on them, but not on a string. I need someone that's like not silver either, something maybe brass. I doubt they make these in gold. But this I really love this, but this represented a different time in my life, but I really want some more of these, but just not on a string because this is like to me, it's masculine to me and I'm trying to get away from that. But anywho, so now we're gonna go ahead and get into what we came to talk about today, which is evaluating your circle. And in all actuality, we should be evaluating our circle on a regular basis. Why? Because depending on our rate of growth, right? We can outgrow our circle pretty quickly, especially if the people that are around us don't have the same like mind as us. And so sometimes we'll feel trapped inside of relationships, not knowing that we feel trapped, just knowing that something isn't sitting right, right? And I've heard a lot of successful people say that you never want to be the smartest person in your room. I mean, in the room or in your circle, right? Um, it's very important that we evaluate our circles very frequently, especially during times where we're not able to, communicate or touch people physically or be in their presence as often as we would like, because now we're depending more on that virtual connection. Now we're depending more on just being able to talk to someone on the phone and get fed that way. And so the first question I would ask you to think about is, who are your closest friends? Who are the people that you consider to be the closest people in your life? The people, whether or not you talk to them on a regular basis, but this is more so for the people that you're in constant contact with. It doesn't have to be every day, but you guys talk maybe once a week or something like that. Someone that you would consider yourself to have either influence over their lives or have an influence over your life, right? Because even those closest friends, those people that have the most access to our minds, the people that have the most access to our energies, are the ones that we want to be evaluating, right? Because they are the ones that have the most power to manipulate it, because they have the most contact with you. And so when you think about the people that are closest in your circle, the people that are the closest to you that you talk to on a frequent basis, you want to think about, does their current life, their current drive, and their current aspirations motivate you, right? Um, a lot of times we just think about, I've heard people say, well, would you trade places with the five current people in your life? Right. And I think it's about more than just would you trade places with them, right? Because not everyone in our life is going to be where we aspire to be, but their desire for more can motivate us. Their hustle to get more can motivate us. Their current life can motivate us. Their aspirations can motivate us. Just seeing them get to where they want to go and actively working and actively building and actively pivoting when things get hard, those type of things can motivate us. So I don't ever want to just put a limit on, is do they have a life that I would trade with? Because there are some people that I know that, they're working to achieve the life that, I would trade with, and their grind alone is enough to be like, okay, we can grind this out together, right? Because especially when you're in the grinding phase, when you're trying to move to your next level, or you're trying to achieve something that you've never achieved before, you of course want to have those people that are running with you, because they're in it, they're in the thick of it. And so not only do you have someone that you can depend on, it's someone that can relate to you, someone that can relate to exactly where you are in your life. And so with those close friends list, you want to look at, okay, do their drive make me want to go harder? Does their current life situation make me want to strive harder to get to it? Do their aspirations, do they even have aspirations? Are they actively working towards those aspirations, right? You want to consider those things and the people that are the closest with you, right? And then the next thing you want to think about is, how do they respond when you tell them good news about you, right? Something good happened to in your life. Even the little things that we often overlook and we don't take recognition. And that's why I really think this book that we're going to get into next week is so, so, so important. Because as my mentor told me when she told us to read this book, it will really teach and train us how to look at what we currently have and be appreciative of what that is. And in your appreciation, you will attract more of the things that you love and like, right? And so that's why this is very, very important, that we start taking note of how they respond even to the little things. Are they encouraging? encouraging you? Are they discouraging you? How are they discouraging you? How are they encouraging you? Are they just saying, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea"? You know what I mean? And you know when your friends are genuine and when they're just saying something to shut you up, right? Are they discouraging? Are they saying, "Oh, that's too big for you. Oh, that's not something that I think you need to do"? Are they encouraging you and saying, "Oh, that's good," but they're giving you constructive feedback on how you can make it even better? Those are the type of things that you definitely want to think about and consider, because whether we know it a lot, not know it or not, no matter how much we believe in our dream or our goal or whatever it is that we're trying to achieve, if someone that we love plants a seed in doubt with us, that's another form of opposition that we now have to fight. Because even if we decide that that thing is worth it, that's still in the back of our mind, right? Subconscious mind, to know that someone that you love, you like, and that you consider to be close to you has a doubt in their mind will subconsciously put a doubt in yours. Not to say that they have to be, a yes person, because we don't want the yes people. We want the realistic people, the people that's going to tell you, if they're going to tell you, "Hey, I don't think this is going to work," they're going to tell you why they don't think it could work. They're going to tell you, "Oh, it might not work this way, but how about you try it this way?" And even if they don't know the answer, I'm just saying me, I'm the type of friend, if I ain't got the answer, I know how I can find, I know how to do research to figure out where you could get the answer from. So if they're not actively participating, not actually, boots on the ground, we're not talking about that. But if they're not actively participating and contributing to your goals and encouraging you, then we have to consider. Some people just friendships just have to be delayed for a little bit. Like, hey, this relationship was really fun and cute for when I was, thinking about doing stuff. Now that I'm in the phase of actively doing stuff, we just gonna have to delay this relationship for a little bit more long. Delay this relationship so that when I get to my goal, maybe we can revisit. Maybe some things have shifted, and we have to be absolutely unapologetic about picking us first, because we are the ones that are going to be the ones that suffer if we continue to allow ourselves to not achieve the things that we want to achieve, right? I know this is something that Brother Benek says often is, how big is your faith bank? Right? And it's a subconscious thing as well. If you set a goal for $1,000, and I believe Brother Ben X, Brother Jake Taylor's touched on this as well. If you set a goal for $1,000 and you've never made $10, you want to make $1,000 a day, and you ain't even never made $100 in a day. Your brain is gonna check you, and automatically you're gonna start to doubt yourself. Why? Because you have not proven yourself to be able to earn a lesser amount every single day. So your mind's automatically going to check you when you start talking about 1,000. So that's the same thing with friends. You have to be able to check yourself, realize, and be very selfish with your time, be very selfish with your energy. Because a lot of people, they just want to be poured into, but don't do no pouring. So now you empty, they full, and then where are we at? So the next thing that you want to do is know that you have categories of friends. And us as, skin folk, we already have categories of friends. But for those of you that don't know that you should have categories of friends, you definitely should. Like, you could still be friends with people and not be able to tell them every single thing. Like, you got that friend where I cannot talk to her about business. She is not the business kind of friend. You know what I mean? If I need to get it, suggestions for what I should wear to an interview, if I need to get suggestions on, X, Y, and Z, this is that friend. Then you got the friend where it's like, this is my whatever. I could talk to them about whatever, whenever, however, right? And then you got that friend where, they can't really get in your business, like your personal business, but you could talk to them all about business because they're all about business. So know your category of friends and don't try to make a friend that's in one category fit into another, because that's how you end up ruining relationships. That's how you end up sacrificing people that are serving you in a certain aspect of your life. Because if they're a business minded person, and you don't share your personal business with them, then your relationship was built on something other than that. So know the categories of friends that you have, and know that not everyone, I got my notes, y'all, and know that not everyone has needs to have access to your dreams, especially when they're in such a fragile state. When we first start dreaming and we start building and we start all those aha moments, and then we get the spider web and stuff, and we got all these dumps with all these extra things. Everybody don't need to have access to your rough draft while you building it out. Keep that sacred with the friends that you know that you can build with. Hey, we wealthy minds, thank you for tuning in. Hey Dee, thank you for tuning in. Everybody don't need to have access to the rough drafts of your dreams, because then they'll have you start erasing stuff that was meant to be there. So know that you have categories of friends, don't cross the lines, and everybody don't deserve access to your dreams. And then the next thing I want to talk to you about is the ABS tribe, right? And when I talk about this, and I did this live specifically for evaluating your circle, right? Because one thing as mothers and as wives, oftentimes we're at home most of the time, right? And even right now in COVID, a lot of us don't even get out as often. So, like I said, we don't have access to people, and sometimes just in our regular lives, we don't have access to people. I'm starting to see a lot more people are becoming more open about the fact that they don't have a support system. A lot more people are becoming open about the fact that their family doesn't support them. A lot of people are becoming more open about the fact that, their family tried to support them, but their mindset is so negative that even in their attempt of support, is drawing them out of their momentum, right? And so more specifically, the ABS tribe has one second, and I'm gonna ask y'all to share this out if you found any amount of value. And if you would like to get notifications of when I go live, text Healthy Hugh, all caps, no spaces, 77948. And so specifically, I wanted to bring up the ABS tribe because I've literally been introduced to a circle of people that just are motivational, right? And I have my, core little whatevers inside of the ABS tribe. And I think that the beautiful thing about the ABS tribe is it exposes you to enough people that you can find the people that are just like you and form your crew, right? Literally, right now, I have a circle of people where one is a six-figure business owner. Now, I don't know what, like, that's a level of access to that I never would have had before, right? Another one is a six. We're gonna speak it into existence, but he is a five-figure a month earner, right? And that's just from having access to those type of people. And sometimes we shy away from like group coaching and things that bring people together because we want to give me some of that water. I sure need this water. I don't know why my voice always start cracking when I get up on this here camera. um and it is the definition of surrounding yourself with people that are always going to support you. There's so many times where in this we're in this circle of people, you get inspiration, you get direct contact with multimillionaires when they come in and teach the tribe. You get access to your own circle of people that can help encourage you and build you, and then you realize the God within yourself, and you start creating things. Like, I think within the first week to 10 days of me being in ABS tribe, I created my first transition guide to helping those that work from home, or those that stay at home, or those that have a job transition to working from home, right? That was within 10 days. That's the level of energy that you get when you are inside the tribe. So when we talk about evaluating your circle and evaluating if their current life desires and aspirations motivate you, we're talking about literally a group of people where everything is focused around giving value. Everything is focused around making necessary corrections to increase our value, not only in the marketplace, but as human beings, right? People often think about the tribe as a place to go and learn about business, right? As a place to go and learn about how to, market and grow online. But there's another part of the tribe that we I don't want to say don't promote as often, because we do promote it as often. But there's another part of the tribe where we get so attached, like we're literally a family in there, right? And it's a safe space for growth and elevation when you have men in there crying. And we ain't talking about, like a teardrop. We talking about streams of tears. That's how close and that's how personal we get, because that's how we take care of each other in the tribe, right? And so I wanted to mention that because a lot of us don't have people within our day-to-day lives that motivate us on that level, right? We don't have people on a day-to-day basis. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Deja Bakes. Um, that pour into us like that, right? So for you to just be able to tap into a team of people, and a lot of times what I'll do is we don't even have we have calls